strap on my chrome. Always up on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome.
Been out of these streets, nigga trying to eat while I duck police. Own family stealing from me. Mama told me to pray, but white Jesus can't save me. Get him away from me. I don't know what to say. So many niggas hating me. Get him away from me.
Always up on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome. Always up on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome.
Going sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Going sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Trying to keep it on the true side, nigga. Laying low to play it cool, nah, nigga. Ass niggas on the team, I've been known to get the green ever since I was 2'5", nigga. Coop hanging out the roof, nah, nigga. Cause I ain't stunting on them. Put my whole team on so they ain't wantin'. When niggas doing bad, you know that they be hating on you. Get to hoping that you fall, they be waiting on it. Bullshit get bread from the envy. Best friends get to looking like enemies. When you got it in this bank account empty. Perfect recipe to brittle out of jealousy. Looking from a bird's eye view. Learn from everything I've been through. Told my baby girl, if you ain't spending life with the nigga, never let him put a dick up in you. Cause if a nigga wrong, I'ma check that shit. And when you paper long, never flex that shit. Told my son, when you getting money, never trick it to a Bible, flip it over, then invest that shit. Give a lot of game, trying to bless my kids. Gotta keep it real, that's the best shit. Got hitters up in Philly, back in Texas. When I get up on the track, yeah, I wreck shit.
Always up on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome. Always up on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome.
Going sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome. Going sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding around with my chrome.
All right, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School, Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commandant General Yohana, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And as you know, we've been called to teach so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans about the truth of the Bible. The title of the class is They Don't Know the Bible, and it encompasses a large group of people. Damn near everybody on earth, except for ISBK and maybe a few others, know actually what the Bible is saying and what it's about. I'm gonna play one brief video. It's gonna be the ISBK Matters video, and then we're gonna go ahead and get into the class. This is a very short video. It's only about like maybe a minute, something seconds, just give you enough time to get ready, get a drink, a pen, a pad, whatever you need to get for the class. And then we'll go right into it, because I do got a heavy lesson I want to teach on. So I'm gonna play that one video, give a minute for everybody to get ready, and we'll be right back to it.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. We're gonna fill our house with happiness, but we'll smother the blues with tenderness. There's room for you, room for me, for gentle hearts and opportunity. It's the bigger love of the family.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get it started. Clap it up for the class. Most High and pray. So the class we're gonna go on today is about, of course, the the law and the scriptures, but it's about people not knowing the Bible. And it's so easily to get confused on what's what, whether it's what's going on in the world as far as World War III, what's going on, should you vote a transgender in office or not, should you vote for Kamala Harris or Trump, should you, sleep with somebody's wife, this, that, and the fourth. People will justify things not knowing what the Bible says, or they'll completely give a people a designation or a nation biblically that is not them because they don't know the Bible. And we're going to get into that. One of the things that people have misconstrued is the fact that, ISUPK is a hate group. We're not a hate group. We're a love group the last time I checked, because we love Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I know that there is a group out there that is actually a hate group, that is designated a hate group, a hate group, and that's the Southern Poverty Law Center. I'm going to go ahead and get, let me see. Let me get Luke 14:26. And then I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit about the SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Center, because they're the ones that said that, my brothers are a hate group, and they're the ones that said, all the hard work that Commanding General Yohana has done, and the men, above us, have done, is for a hate group, and it's not, because you don't take the type of time and the type of designation that you will put on certain things and certain people if you're a hate group. You're a love group. We're a love group. So let me go ahead and get Luke 14:26, and let's get to the bottom of this.
Come. This is Luke chapter 14 and verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and brother and wife and children and brethren and sisters,
Good night.
Yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
So who's that speaking right there?
Christ.
That's Christ speaking, right? And he said, if you don't hate your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, the puppy,
Exactly. Oh,
it's lucky. Just joking. But if you don't hate all of those things, you can't be his disciple. So what does that mean? Does that actually mean that you have to hate your mother and father? Does that mean you're going to do detestable and bad things? Because if it does, then, verses like, let me see, 1 John 5:2 would be a contradiction, right?
Right.
Because that's talking about, loving the children of God. So let's get Luke 14:26 one more time from the top.
this is Luke 14:26. If any man come to me and hate not his father, mother, wife, children, brethren, sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
If you don't hate yourself, you can't be a disciple of Christ. If you don't hate your brothers, your sisters, your children, your wife, your mother, your father, you can't be a disciple. Brother, what do you think that means? If I could, it's Salaki again. What's your name again? Nate. The water, Nate. What do you think that's meaning when Christ says, if any man come to me and he doesn't hate their family and themselves? What does that mean?
Really, Christ is speaking to their previous ways, the ways of the world.
Okay.
To decide to bear your cross and follow.
Got you. So that would fall more under crucifying your flesh and not being carnal, right? So what this is actually talking about is loving your family and yourself less than you love Christ. Not actually hating them and abhorring them, doing something bad to them or having a bad feeling for no reason. Because the scriptures say, if a man hate his brother for no reason, and I'm paraphrasing, he's a murderer. But then you have this verse saying, if any man doesn't hate not his father and his mother and his wife and his children and brethren and sister in his own life, he cannot be my disciple. So let's go ahead and try to get that in the Blue Letter Bible. So let me see what they're using for hate. So let me see, Luke 14:26. So that's what it actually means. So when we're called a hate group, we're essentially loving we're loving our brothers and sisters more than we love any other nation. That's all that is. Because when a black man hates, he just loves somebody less. That's what we do when we hate. Like if you hate KFC but you like Popeye's chicken, you're gonna go to Popeye's chicken. You're not going. And I hate to use the chicken reference because they on the internet calling us KFC people as we speak. But if you hate something like a movie, you don't watch that movie. You watch the movie you love. There can be a movie that is your favorite and a movie that you don't like so much. By this definition, you would hate it because you love it less than the movie you love the most. So let me go ahead and get that in the Blue Letter Bible, and Luke 14:26, and I'll go ahead and read what that actually means when they break it down in the Blue Letter Bible. So give me 1 second. Use the tools right. I don't know why it does this every single time, but we're going to get it right. All right, so it did it right the second time. So let me see. So in the Blue Letter Bible, it says, all right, so hate is the Greek word. Can I pronounce it? Let me see. So it's the Greek word, and it is
Strong's G 3404. Messiah.
So they're using Messiah in Strong's G 3404. So that's translated from a Greek word because the scriptures were translated from the original tongues that we read in the King James Version. The King James Version is a word for word, not a thought for thought. So we can go ahead and get to the bottom of what it's actually saying. So let me see. So we'll use the Strong's info. It says from a primary Messios, which is hatred, and then it gives what it could be. It says to detest, especially to persecute by extension, or to love less. So we see in the Strong's that it's telling us what it actually is. So you can know that in this definition, the Messiah that it's talking about is talking about loving less. So somebody can say, oh no, you're just philosophizing the Bible, right? Well, I'm not philosophizing the Bible because I can clearly show you that in the Strong's it says it. And since the Bible doesn't contradict itself, for the viewers that may be Christians can know that, okay, if the Bible doesn't contradict itself, Christ isn't talking about detesting or hating somebody. He's talking about loving somebody less. And that's what we do in the UPK. We love the things around us less because we're a love group that loves the children of God, that loves Christ, that actually loves God. So we're going to love the other things less. All right. If I could, can I get 1 John 5:2? Because we're talking about the commandments, right? You was about to say something.
Con. Because the last verse in Luke, I was really discussing that to one of my cousins, right? Because she's battling going to Thanksgiving this year. Right. So I told her, I was like, listen, if you love your family more than you love the Bible and the gospel, right, you're not worthy of Christ.
You're not.
You know what I mean? And I told her, you got a decision to make this year. And since you know better, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now it's going to be held accountable to you. And this is very important for us to understand. Like we cannot put ourselves and our family above Christ. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. No, that's heavy. Clap it up for Kosh. And what he's saying is heavy in this fact. Number one, Kosh is a priest and officer in the UPK. So when he tells you something out of the Bible and now you have knowledge of it, if you go against the what he told you as far as the law, you're willfully sinning. And then the scriptures say there's no more sacrifice left for that when you willfully sin. So when you willfully break God's laws, there's no sacrifice for you. The Lord may not show you mercy anymore. Another thing that God said was heavy, that you have to love the Lord more than you love your family. Think of it this way. If you go and celebrate Thanksgiving, that means you love the unalivers of the Native American Indians more than you love the Indians, because you're celebrating the victory that those settlers and those colonizers had in taking the land and spilling the blood of the Native American Indians. So you celebrating their victory, you're showing who you're siding with. you're siding with the people who slaughtered and unalived the children of God, and you love them more. So when you do that, you're showing the Native American Indians hate when you do that. So what Ka'ash said was exactly correct. All right, let me see. I'm gonna read a little bit of this article because we're gonna touch a little bit about hate. Because there's a lot of hate actually going on in the world. It ain't coming from us. We out here loving people. We were in Philly, and while we were given a word, we fed the children of Israel as well. Shout outs to Officer Nakar, for doing that, because it takes a lot, to feed people and do everything we have to do, especially in these times. These times, a loaf of bread is like what? I'm over exaggerating, but a loaf of bread is like $100. So it takes a little bit more now to feed your brothers and sisters, but you can't just go ahead. I'm gonna get to that scripture in a second, but you can't just go on, giving blessings and saying, "Oh, be blessed, brother, and go in peace," like pastors do. Pastors will say, "Be blessed and go in peace," but what about the things that you need, sustenance for, your body, food, clothing, a shelter? Those are actual needs, not wants. All right, so this is talking about they don't know the Bible. I just wanted to cover a few things before I, get too far into it. But the Southern Poverty Law Center was, and I'm going to cover one of the founding members, which is Morris Dees. Morris Dees is an American attorney known for co-founding the Southern Poverty Law Center. Southern Poverty Law Center gives out the designation of a hate group, right? How can you give out that designation if you're doing hateful things on a grand level? So let me see, where is it at? Let's go to one of the founders. It says former employees, multiple employees, alleged that Dees was complicit in harassment and racial discrimination. Wait a minute, how are you the founder of something that is supposed to say who and who is not a hate group when you're committing hateful acts? Exactly. So I see that, number one, racial discrimination, that sounds like Black people are being hated against, right? Mm-hmm. So you got somebody who was in charge of creating a group that says, hey, you're a hate group, hating Black people. Let's continue. And one of the employees said that at least one female employee accused him of sexual harassment. So you hate women too. But yet we're the hate group because we said what was done to the Northern American Indian, what was done to Blacks and Hispanics was completely wrong, and that the oppressors should pay for it. We're a hate group because we love our people enough to seek justice. But you're sexually harassing women and racially discriminating, showing true hate. You have something you had to say, guys? Oh, you sure? Oh, no sweat, no sweat. All right, let's get something else about the Southern Poverty Law Center. Because one thing I will do is defend this school and defend my brothers, especially when we got creeps from the Southern Poverty Law Center saying that we're a hate group when we're not. And when they do that, they're actually shutting up, a lot of opportunities for Black people out here. Because if somebody's coming to give you help, but they're being demonized, you might not take the help because they can't even get close enough for you to hear it. For instance, the sister in the front. If you need something, like, let's say you needed a ride somewhere because there's a hurricane, but somebody is saying that, I'm some type of monster, and then I pull up on you in the car, would you want to accept that ride from me if I'm deemed as some type of, deviant or a monster? Nah. So the Southern Poverty Law Center is not only having one of their founders racially discriminating, the Southern Poverty Law Center is not only involved in racial discrimination, and they have lawsuits, but they're also giving us a Black name, and we're literally trying to help Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans out of the hell that we're in. On top of that, we're trying to make sure that every man, woman, and child that is an Israelite has a chance to hear God's word. We're doing the work of the Lord. And these people are trying to shut us down. All right, it says, this is an article from Fox News. A lawyer from the Southern Poverty Law Center was released on bail after being arrested and charged with domestic terrorism. These fools have domestic terrorists in their midst. They have co-founders that are sexually harassing women and racial discrimination, but you're going to say we're a hate group because we're saying words. They're physically doing stuff. This person that is a lawyer for the Southern Poverty Law Center actually attacked police. They have ties to hating Black people, women, and now police. How are they not a hate group themselves? Let's get one more. All right, let me see. All right, last one. And this is just CNN. So I'm just giving you two news articles. I'll read the headline and we'll move on. It says famous civil rights group, Southern Poverty Law Center, suffers from systemic culture of racism and sexism, staffers say. So it's not only just their founder. They have something that's systematic within their midst that is causing multitudes of employees to say, hey, this is happening. This is pure hatred right here. There's no way that we could get away with this in the UPK and it not be extremely national news. But our words, because we preach the word of God, because we say what Christ said, look, you got to love this less. You got to love the Lord more. We're deemed as a hate group. So let's move on. All right. So the title of this is They Don't Know the Bible. Let me go ahead and get to keeping the commandments because it matters. All right. All right. Let me go to, let me see. I'm going to get it for you. I don't have it written down. I just have words. If somebody could get me the book of Amos 3 and 2, because there's a misconception about who's who in the Bible. There's a misconception about who God loves in the Bible. And there's a misconception about damn near every passage in the Bible, because a lot of it pertains to the Israelites, but people say it pertains to everybody. So yeah, what was that? Amos 3 and 2. Because like I played the skit, this is a family matter. When we have these scriptures and we're reading for Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, that is a family matter. This is for the education of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right, who are Israelites. These scriptures are literally trying to educate and bring back Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to their original heritage. So you're going to read Amos 3 and 2, young man Ace. If you could read very loud, very loud. Abba Kusha.
Chapter 3, the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of earth.
Matter of fact, I'm sorry. Can you go up to verse 1 for me?
Okay. The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you.
So the Lord is speaking against the children of Israel. And it's going to say that. Continue.
O children of Israel.
Hold on. Just read what it is.
Oh, you want me to start from the
No, start from the beginning.
Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel.
So, young man Ace, who is the Lord talking to?
The children of Israel.
All right. When it says spoken against you, what does that mean?
Like,
all right, no sweat. It means that he speak, like you can even use to keep it simple. He is, in a sense of the words, putting those words against the children of Israel because they've done something wrong. So he's speaking against them and letting them know a judgment. So he's judging them with these words. Continue.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Saying, so hold on. So the Lord is encompassing Egypt. He brought them out of Egypt, which is bondage. That word Egypt is synonymous with bondage. And he's bringing a judgment against them. Let's see what I'm actually saying, if it's true or not, in verse 2.
Verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of earth.
So he said, against the whole family. So he brought up the family of Israel from Egypt. And then it says, you only have I known out of all the families on the earth. And we've covered this in class. It's as simple as matter of fact, keep reading. I'll touch on that and then we'll move on.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So if he's saying you only have I known, he doesn't know the other nations like that. He hasn't made a covenant with them. He hasn't delivered them from anything. He does not love them. And these are, in us saying that type of thing, which is true in the Bible, designates us a hate group from somebody or an entity that shows pure hatred, not only for their employees, but people outside of their organization, because they have a domestic terrorist attacking a police facility. So let me see. I believe if you could play the Benjamin Netanyahu, because as I was saying, these people around the world do not know the Bible, but we should, because we can get in a lot of trouble not knowing the Bible. The Bible is our wisdom. And as you can see, as World War III breaks out, a lot of these nations and their leaders lack wisdom. Right now, Israel is banking on the United States helping them when it comes to fighting against Hezbollah, Hamas, Iran, and many other Arab nations. They need us to help them because they bit off more than they can chew. Back in the 90s, Iran wasn't a power force, but Iran is a force to be reckoned with. That's why I keep telling Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, be more concerned about F-35s, which is a jet, rather than Retro 5s, which is a Michael Jordan sneaker. Be more concerned about the things that are around you. If we know that there's clouds in the sky and it's getting heavy and we hear thunder, we know the weather, that a storm is coming. How come we can't see the sign of the times? And that's the scriptures say that.
Exactly.
You can't see the sign of the times because you don't know the Bible. You don't know to take wisdom from the Bible. You think wisdom is getting gained from Fresh and Fit. You think wisdom is getting gained from $1 million worth of gain, but it's not. All that stuff means nothing, because when the system crashes, when the government is no longer operating at like a first world country should operate, you're going to be in a world of trouble. That 911 system is not always going to operate. The very society that has, tormented and demonized Black men is going to crumble and fail you. And then you're going to need Black men like the ones in ISUPK, Hispanic men like the ones in ISUPK, Native American men like the ones in ISUPK to come and save you, because 911 is not going to work. Half the damn time, if there's somebody breaking in your house, 911 gets there after the fact. It's so hard for them to get to you, even if they're trying, before that person gets in your house. You're going to have other measures. You're going to have wisdom in order to get out of that situation. You can't always rely on this beast to help you out, because you can end up like Sonia Massey. You can end up calling the police for help because you think somebody's outside, and then somebody can assault you with a weapon that you called, and they're the cops. So where were we at? We were going to play that video. Let's see what Benjamin Netanyahu, and let me give you his background real quick. Benjamin Netanyahu. All right. So this is currently the person who should also be designated as a hate group, because he's, literally, unalived thousands of, Palestinian children. But Benjamin Netanyahu is the prime minister of Israel. Let me see. Let me just read it from Wikipedia. Benjamin Netanyahu is an Israeli politician serving as the prime minister of Israel. So the people that say that they are the Jews of the Bible, their leader is Benjamin Netanyahu. He held office in 96, 99, and from 2009 to 2021. Blah, 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 blah. So Benjamin Netanyahu is literally the king of the people who say that they are the Jews. And IHBK, we know they're not the Jews, but oops, that makes us a hate group because we're going to give you facts. Benjamin Netanyahu is literally speaking about the Bible, and he has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And we're going to get into that today. Let's go ahead and hear what this fool has to say.
Remember what Amalek has done to you, says our Holy Bible, and we do remember, and we are fighting our brave troops and combatants who are now in Gaza or around Gaza. And
Oh, okay.
The video you want me to start at 24. This is from just I just played it straight up.
Okay, let me see. What I say, 18.
The other video you told me to stop at 18.
Right.
You want this slide?
Yeah, let's go to the one that's 18. Hold on, let me see. Let me go to it real quick.
I have the video that says that.
Oh no. I'm sorry. This can start from the beginning. Salaki. This is the shorter one. It's hard for me to see it on the screen because it is device. Salaki. Yeah, let's start that from the beginning. And let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna put the volume up. I'm gonna actually mute me.
all other regions in Israel are joining this chain of Jewish heroes, a chain that has started 3,000 years ago from Joshua ben Nun until the heroes of 1948, the Six-Day War, the 73 October War, and all other wars in this country. Our hero troops, they have one supreme main goal: to completely defeat the murderous enemy and to guarantee our existence in this country. We've always said, never again. Never again is now.
So I just want you guys to hear the part where he called the Palestinian people Amalek, because there's a professor.
You must remember what Amalek has done to you, says our Holy Bible, and we do remember, and we are fighting our brave troops and combatants. To remember what Amalek has done to you, says to remember what Amalek has done to you, says our Holy. Remember what Amalek.
All right, so Benjamin Netanyahu, which is an Israeli prime minister, he's saying that the Torah tells him to remember what Amalek has done to you. Yeah. And he's attributing what Amalek did to, the Jews in the Bible as what the Palestinians did to his people. But he is not Jew. He is not a Jew according to the Bible. And the Palestinians are not Amalek, because the Palestinians would be the Philistines in the Bible. Netanyahu is an idiot. Amalek, and I'm going to prove it with the scriptures. Amalek is a descendant of Esau, which are Edomites, which have nothing to do with Arabs. They're not Arabs. They're Edom. So let me go ahead and play. If you could play the other two videos, and then I'm going to break it down. Because you have fools on this dude is the prime minister of Israel, completely lying about the scriptures. And it's so easy. Let's say if he was an idiot and he actually didn't know, that's bad. Or he's a devil that is giving you lies and putting him in the place of the children of God and somebody else in his place. Because in actuality, those people that hold the seat, the small hats over in the land, the chosen land of God, are actually Amalek, which is one of the tribes of Esau, of Edom. So let's see what he has to say. This is the first one, right?
This is the 1820 mark.
Yeah, let's hear what he has to say.
Regime has not only, in my opinion.
Hold on, pause that. Let me just give you who he is. This is a professor who graduated from, let me just go to his name. Professor Muhammad Morandi. So he speaks on a lot of topics, right? He's an Iranian professor, American Iranian. Let me see. And he's a political science. And what I'll say is this: you can be a genius level intellect You can be a ruler of a country. You can be a professor with a PhD, like Professor Morandi, and speak eloquently on political science topics and know more about the American government than the people in American government. But you still don't know the damn Bible, because he's going to say something about the scriptures that are wrong as well. These guys are enemies, and neither one of them know the Bible. They don't even know who each other are in the Bible. I'm gonna say Morandi doesn't know, and it's possible that Netanyahu knows, and the state of Israel is doing what they're doing and saying who they are just so they can keep a state and have freedom over in Israel. Even though he may be being disingenuous and actually knowing what it is and pretending like he doesn't know, you know. And yeah, we'll just go to it. I like that facial expression because me and my rib were talking about the word disingenuous and the different meanings of it. And, you know, it's quite possible that Netanyahu fits one of those definitions. So let's see what, you know, this PhD has to say about the Bible. Let's see if he knows what he's talking about.
Not miscalculated when it struck Gaza, because initially they said we're going to starve them. And they were very open about their genocidal intent, as we all know. They said very openly that they're Amalek, and
right.
Looking to the biblical, the Old Testaments, we see that the Amalek were completely wiped out: women, children, animals, everything. So
stop right there. So he said we see biblically that Amalek was wiped out. Women, children, animals were completely wiped out. That's not true. Amalek was not completely wiped out. And we're going to tie into why they should have been, because the Lord said it, and the results of that in this showing that they don't know the Bible. So if I could, let me get. Let me see, where would I like to start first? All right, let's go to Genesis 36 and 12.
Sorry, you said 26%.
26, and if I can, let me see. This has a lot of, 36 and 12. If you, as a matter of fact, if you could read verse 1 for me, and if another brother could read verse 12. Because 36 talks about Esau's descendants. So we're going to see who actually Amalek is, because Ishmael is the Arabs. Ishmael is the Arabs. The people who are saying they're Palestinians are actually Arabs, and the Philistines are a whole different nation. I won't go completely into that, but they don't know who's who, what's going on, or when it's going on. Go ahead, let's read that. Genesis 36 and 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 1. Now these are generations of Esau, who was Edom. So the generations of Esau, who was Edom. So it's letting you know that Esau, which is the brother of Jacob, is Edom. Esau is the father of the so-called white man, the oppressor. Esau is the father of Rome, Greece. Any nation that comes from the line of the Greeks and the Romans, that comes from Esau. And then our everyday so-called oppressor descends from that. So this is what this chapter is talking about. So let's move down to verse 12. Go ahead, let's try to see if you can read it. These names are a little bit crazy for some of them, so see if you can do your best. So like you said, verse 12?
Verse 12. Make sure you, if you could, call it the chapter and verse, Bible show.
The book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 12. And Timah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. So
Timah was concubine to Eliphaz, which was Esau's son. Continue.
And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek.
So Amalek, continue.
These were the sons of
Mm-hmm.
And now Esau's wife.
So we know, if we know nothing, that Amalek is Esau. Amalek is Edom. Amalek would be a so-called oppressor today. That's what we know. He's one of the tribes. They even call them in the scriptures dukes of Edom. So how are they the Arabs? How are they the Palestinians? How are you attributing them to this? All right, let's continue because we want to walk this down. All right, let's go to let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 15. I might have you read just a little bit. Let me see. All right. So we'll read that. So let me see. Hold on a second. All right. We're going to read verse 11 and then we're going to come back down to it if I could. So 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 11. All right, matter of fact, let's get what Netanyahu was actually talking about. Let's get what Netanyahu, verse 2. I want you to just read verse 2 first.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 1.
Chapter 15.
Chapter 15, verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people.
So Samuel is saying that King Saul is being anointed. So the Lord chose Saul to be the king. So in this instance, the Lord set a king over Israel. I believe, let me see, is Saul the first king over Israel? I believe he's the first king over Israel. I want to say he's the first king over Israel. Somebody correct me on that if that's not right. You can't set an Edomite over you, an Elamite, and I'm mentioning the nations that were in the election. You can't set them over top. And if you set an Israelite over you, they have to actually be following the law. That means they were chosen by God. Continue. You started from the top.
Chapter 15, verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now, therefore, hearken.
Yeah.
Hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord.
So the Lord is giving Saul a message through Samuel. Let's see what that message is.
Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
How he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt.
So when we were leaving Egypt, there was children, women in the back, sick people. Amalek came behind us and attacked us. If you notice how, and this is how you know spiritually who they are and their history as far as Netanyahu's people, because what are they doing to the women and children now over in Gaza? They're not able to get to the soldiers, so they're literally bombing and unaliving women, children, old people, hospitals, food. They're doing the same thing that they did to the actual Israelites, to us, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans when we came out of Egypt. They're doing that to the Palestinians. If this man, I almost called him Muhammad, if Muhammad Marandi knew who his enemy was, and if other Iranians and then Palestinians knew who the enemy was, they would know exactly what the enemy is capable of. Here in the UPK, we have the wisdom that was given to us by the Most High, like Commandant General Yohanan, because we can see in these scriptures who the people are and what they're capable of by what they've done in the past. Am I right? Right. All right. It says, verse 3, continue.
Chapter 15, verse 3. Now they go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have and spare them not.
So the Most High wants King Saul, which this is a commandment that he gave to Saul. He commanded this. He said, go, smite them, destroy them all, spare not. Continue.
But slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and...
Go ahead. You was getting busy in school today anyway. Go ahead. Anyway, all right. And let's see. Let me go down. Let me see where we want to go down, because we don't need to read it all, because there's some more scriptures I want to get to. Let me see. All right, go to verse 9. This is terrible right here. Saul should have listened. So the Most High commanded it. It was a commandment. It's going to say that it was a commandment. These aren't my words, because I have to speak as the oracles, you know, the Most High when I'm talking about the scriptures. I'm not going to add or take away. Let's read verse 9.
Verse 9.
Now, hold on. So far, we see that Netanyahu didn't know what the hell he was talking about, because we've already established that the Palestinians are Arabs, even though in the actual people of the land who were Philistines aren't actual Arabs. But these Palestinians that are Arabs are not Amalek, because they are not so-called white people. They are not Edomites. These are Arabs. We've already established that. Netanyahu doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, or he's just plain lying. Let's get to the bottom of what Muhammad said. Verse 9.
Verse 9. But Saul and the people spared Agag.
All right. So Agag is an Amalekite. Is that how you say it? Amalekite. Yeah, Amalekite. I'm sorry. But yeah, Amalekite. We'll get the name specifically right in a second. But Saul and the people spared Agag. Continue.
And the best of the sheep.
Now, hold on. Keep reading.
And of the oxen.
Uh-huh.
And of the fatlings.
Uh-huh.
And the lamb and all that was good.
All right. So this is what the Most High told Saul to do. He said, smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have. He said, destroy the woman, the infant, the suckling, the ox, the sheep, the camel, and the ass. This says that Agag was spared, and the best of the sheep and oxen and the fatlings and the lambs and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. He was told to do something and he did not. Also, Muhammad said that everybody was destroyed. All was destroyed. Agag, the last time I checked, is from Amalek. He was not destroyed. He said all the animals were destroyed. The best of the animals were not destroyed. These people do not know the Bible. They are professors with PhDs. They are the leaders of entire nations that have nuclear weapons. And they quote the Bible and say things about it, and they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. If they don't know the Bible, and they're supposed to be able to read the Torah and the Tanakh in Hebrew, which is not actually Hebrew, but let's say, for argument's sake, they're supposed to be able to read the Bible in Hebrew, and they don't know the Bible. Do you think some sweaty pastor in a Louis Vuitton shirt that's saying that, I don't even want to say what one of the pastors said. The pastor said that he had holy milk inside him. And in order to receive, gosh, it's crazy. In order to receive this milk, you had to receive it with your mouth. Do you think he knows the Bible?
No.
Do you think, what's the woman's name that was going around the church saying, anybody who got $20 that don't really need it, just come up and just give me the $20 and say, is that all? I see it. Yeah, I can't remember that fool's name, But do you think she knows the Bible if Benjamin Netanyahu and Muhammad don't know the Bible? Hell no. You can get the scriptures from us, the men above us, and from old videos of people from all the way back in the 80s with ISUPK. But you can't get the understanding of the scriptures from them. King Saul is breaking a commandment that proves that the people that Muhammad said was alive or have been unalive are still alive. Let's keep reading. I want to read down to 10 and 11. So the fatlings, do you see where it says, and all that was good? Start from there.
And all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. You going?
Mm-hmm.
But everything that was vile and refused that they had destroyed utterly.
So he decided that, the stuff, so he took his own wisdom. Can you get that for me, Kaash? Where it says our wisdom is like filthy rags, or our righteousness is like filthy rags, because the Most High's righteousness is when you follow his commandments. That's when you have the righteousness of the Most High. But when you don't have the righteousness of the Most High, you have your own righteousness. It's filthy rags. The Lord told him to destroy everything. He said, you know what? I'm going to keep the good stuff, and I'm going to keep Agag, which is the king, and the stuff that I don't like, you know what? I'm going to destroy that, because that seems like a good plan instead of listening to the Most High. Salaki, if it's, you got it? Most High in Christ, the water.
This is Isaiah 64 and verse 6. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags. And we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities like the wind have taken us away.
He sinned against the Most High when he did not fulfill that commandment that the Most High told him to do. Let me see. Let me get that. 1 Corinthians 3 and 19. And then I'm going to get the other one about our wisdom being our righteous, or the Most High's wisdom. If somebody could read that for me.
Slaki, what is it?
Colin, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, He hath taken the wise in their own craftiness.
All we have to do is just listen to the Most High, and we will have the wisdom and the things that we need in this world. We can't go on what we think we know. We can't go on leaders who are, have all these worldly accomplishments, but they don't actually know what's important. Every single thing that somebody has earned, single thing that somebody has created, is going to fade away. But what the Most High has is going to stand and stay forever, right? All right, I think we get that part. Let me see. Let me just read verse 10 and 11 for time's sake. Salakia, since you had a question.
Not a question, more of a statement.
Hold on 1 second. The what?
I think it's more of a statement for, when you said that it's telling, well, it was kind of heavy when you said that Israel or Netanyahu kind of did what that group of people has has done in history, being Amalek. And I just think that it's awesome how even for those that don't know the Bible, when you actually take the time to think about it, you see these characteristics playing out in the people. So I thought that was really heavy.
Most High Christ. Yeah, there was one more thing I was going to read, but I'll just go down. Let me see. So this is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 10. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, Ace, are you already there? If you're not there, don't worry about it.
No, I am there. I just need.
Yeah, go ahead. Verse 11. 1 Samuel 15 and 11.
Chapter
15.
Okay.
Wow.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15, verse 11. It repented.
repenteth
me that I have set up Saul to be king.
So the Lord was like, I should have never made him king. I let him be the king, and look what he has done. The Most High didn't like that he made Saul the king. Continue. For he is.
For he is turned back from the following me.
So he turned his back on the Most High. So even though I'm addressing what Muhammad is saying about them all being destroyed, which is wrong, I'm also giving the lesson that when the Lord tells you to do something and gives you an order, follow it all the way through. Don't think that you can do exactly what you want to do or do part of what the Most High asked you to do and part of what you were supposed to do. If the Most High says, don't consume abominations, don't do shellfish, don't do pork, don't say, you know what, the pork I ain't gonna eat, them damn clams and lobster, man, that's good. That's good. They got to be clean. They come from the ocean got salt water in it, probably sterilized. Let me go ahead and eat that. Don't do what you think you should do. The scriptures say, think not what to wear. The Most High already told you what to wear. You don't even got to think about what you should and should not eat. It's in the scriptures. Find out what the Most High said about it and then do that. Continue. And hath not performed.
And have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel. And he cried unto the Lord all night. Chapter.
So now you can stop right there. Give me 1 second. Hey, Shalom, Holy Christ, I want. Nothing much, sir. Just teaching the class. All right. Okay, sir. All right, Lord in Christ. All right. So the Most High set up Saul, gave him a chance. Saul did not do what he was supposed to do. Agag is from Amalek, right? Agag was supposed to have been destroyed. Somebody might say, well, wait a minute. That's only one person. Let's read what Agag surviving ended up causing. Let's go to, because the Most High didn't listen, it's going to disprove Salaki. Because he didn't listen to the Most High, it's going to disprove what Muhammad said. And also, it's going to show you we should listen to what the Most High has to say. Let's get Esther chapter 3, verse 1. And we're still, we're talking about the scriptures, about, love, hate. We're also covering, not knowing the Bible and how the commandments should be followed. If you know the scriptures, you can do exactly what you need to do concerning the Most High. But if you don't, you're going to be led astray. All right. Esther 3 and 1. You got it, Ace?
Wow.
No sweat. I'll read it. All right. You sure? All right. The water.
The book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 1. After these things did King Assyrius promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite.
The Agagite. So, if I could, so the Agagite is actually one of the descendants of Agag, which is an Edomite. So if you see there's a lineage that still continue, that means all of Amalek has not been destroyed. So not only did Saul not do what he was supposed to do, it led to Esther and the Israelites almost being unalived altogether, because you still have this person, which is Haman, son of Hammedatha, Salakia, the Agagite. It says, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. So if he had been destroyed, he would have never had a seat if Agag had been destroyed. his lineage would have never had a seed that could possibly destroy Israel. Let me see if I can find, all right, let me read verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, which is he's an Amalekite. I'm messing that all up. Salakia. Say it again. Let me see how exactly you say it. Let me see so I can stop messing it up. Amalekite. Is that how you say it? Let me see. Salakia. Right. Amalekite. I think that's how you say it. All right, let me see. Amalekite. Right. So it's Amalekite. So Haman is an Amalekite. Most people don't know that if they haven't been, taught this in the scriptures, because Haman is the son of Agagite, which is a Amalekite. Does that make sense? Or La? You want me to go back and kind of go over that part?
One more time.
All right, no sweat. All right, so if we start at verse, let me see. So I'll start with Genesis 36 and 12, right? So Amalek is one of the sons of Edom. We got that part, right? All right. So it says, and Timah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. So we have Amalek, which is one of the sons of Edom, Esau. And then if we go to, let me see, let me go to 1 Samuel 15 and 11. Matter of fact, we'll go to 15 and 9. So 15 and 8 says, and he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites. So Agag is king of the Amalekites. Agag is actually a survivor because King Saul did not kill him or unalive him. Agag ended up having descendants, which are the Agagites, but they're still Amalekites. They're still Edom. It would be like descendants from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We know that those are descendants. It's just that we have names like Simeons, Zebulun, Levi. Like we all have these tribal names. These are just tribes of Esau. Agag is just a descendant. That's how you know that there are survivors. So in this last part, I just want to get, so I'll just do a quick recap. You have people who don't know the Bible, who are speaking on a national and global level, saying things that aren't true. One of which is all of Amalek was destroyed, but they're not, because you can see them in Esther. Haman was a descendant of those people. You have the prime minister of Israel, which is in a high seat of power, saying that the Palestinian people are Amalek, which they're not because they're Arabs. And Esau is actually the father of Amalek. And then let's continue with the last video, which I almost forgot what it's even about. Once I hear it, I'll remember.
So you want me to put a 24, 27?
Right. I believe that's when Muhammad talks about, he literally talks about how crazy it is, what's happening to the people and how bad they are, as if it's kind of like a surprise. But go ahead, you can play it, because I want to read Psalms 83.
Human rights and human values, and that Iran has a grudge, and that it's the so-called regime in Iran that is the troublemaker. And if it wasn't for this regime in Tehran, we would have peace and stability and friendship with Europe. Some of these people were among my own undergraduate students, mostly undergraduate students, like between 17, 16 to 22, that's 21, that age. There were lots of young people in that age group. the last year has destroyed the image of the West. It has destroyed the image of the Israeli regime.
So what he's saying, what he's explaining is, at first, it looked like it was the Arabs' fault that there's not peace. That's what he was saying. And now, in the image, the image of the West, which is us and other nations that support us, and Israel, they can see that image of you know, who the Israelis really are is coming out. So what they're doing, and that's being shown on all these platforms, is starting to be seen. And this is if people knew the Bible, they would understand, because the scriptures say, you know, till that man be revealed. So let me read that in Thessalonians. So we know that these oppressors that are doing all this stuff are actually the devil that the Bible speaks of. And this says, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 3. Let me go. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. I want to get the exact part. All right. So 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 3 says, let no man deceive you by any means. All this time, people all around the world have been being deceived by what goes on mainstream media. Even something as simple as Iran bombing Israel, and Israel acting as if the Iron Dome protected them, and then major military targets were actually hit. But mainstream media over here, Fox News, CNN, ABC, plays it as if nothing happens. But now we have YouTube, so you can see videos and their satellites, and you can see, like, no, they took a major L. Israel took a major L. Or you can think that Israel is just this golden, you know, shining city that everybody wants to attack, but really you're taking people's homes, you're kicking them out, you're sniping children, saying all these things that you're going to do to the Palestinian women and children. And now the view, that veil is coming off of who these people actually are. They're the synagogue of Satan. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. We have to fall away from sin and come out of the ways of this oppressor, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So Netanyahu is one of the tribes of Esau, Amalek. You also have the West, Northern America. They're also a tribe of Esau. In our minds, they're two separate people, right? You got the Jewish people, who we used to think came from the Bible, and then you got America, which are tied in with white Jesus, none of which is true. So this image is starting to come undone. This is something biblical that they are just finding out about, as far as finding out that Israel will be revealed who they actually are. But if you knew the scriptures, you would know that this was going to happen. You would know that they would be revealed as the synagogue of Satan. Let's continue and see what more he has to say about it.
People don't consider the West to be have anything to do with human rights. They see them as the greatest enemy of human rights and human dignity and women's rights and children's rights. And so I think that Netanyahu really doesn't understand where things stand in the region today. He has been able to slaughter many people. He has been able to ruin the lives of families. You wake up in the morning and you see images of a woman who's lost her husband and all her children. Or you hear of a man who went out to buy bread and he comes back and everyone has been killed. You hear these, or you see the images of dead people lying around every day. This pleases the Israelis from what we see and hear from their Telegram channels. And
you have men that are in Palestine and they are going to get milk. When they come home, their house is gone, their family is gone. That's sad, right? How about men, women, and children over here that were put in cages when they were crossing the border because the United States destabilized their country? How about those people?
That's sad.
That's sad. He said that they're finally seeing, all the things and this, and the regime is being shown for what it was. The scriptures have always talked about what they were, who they actually were. he doesn't actually know his enemy that well, because this oppressor is going to do far worse things than he's already done. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Netanyahu was one of the first people to drop the nuke. I wouldn't be surprised if he would be the first person to drop a nuke over there in Palestine. Let's get Psalms 83. We'll start at verse 5. Because all these other nations are going through, you know, some type of turmoil. You got Ukraine, those are Edomites. You have Israel, but those are Edomites. You have United States soldiers being sent over, those are Edomites. You have the Palestinians, that's Ishmael. You have the actual Philistines. Let's see what the Lord has to say about these people and how what we say gets turned into hate speech when it's really not. Let me go ahead and get that full chapter so I can see. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we need this. I need this. And we read these scriptures in Sabbath service. We read this in Sabbath service. So Netanyahu doesn't know the Bible. He's the prime minister of Israel. He supposedly reads the Torah and Tanakh. Muhammad is a political science PhD. He doesn't know the Bible. You got it? He doesn't know the Bible. He doesn't know his enemy. He doesn't have the wisdom. We have the wisdom here. And you should come to class. You should read the scriptures and know that there's going to come a time when we're going to have to apply brotherhood and sisterhood, and that we're going to have to love the nations that are suffering less than we love our people. Ours the lie. Yes, less than we love our people. We have to love our people more, because what's going to happen is whatever nation gets in power, they're going to put us as second-class citizens. If the Palestinians defeated Israel and America, we would just be the slaves in their kingdom. We would work for them. We would be servants.
Absolutely.
If China wins, we'll be speaking Chinese. We'll be their slaves. If Ukraine wins, Russia, we will be, instead of no, if Russia wins, we'll be saying yet. We will be the slaves in any kingdom that wins. Any kingdom that wins, we will be the slaves. We talk about hate. We talk about love, but these people actually hate the Most High. The scriptures say it. Psalms 83. I want to just say one more point. Saul should have destroyed every single last person that the Most High, every animal that the Most High told him to destroy, because we are dealing with not only in Esther what Haman did, but then you have people who have actually committed the largest identity theft in the history of mankind and actually insured the wood for the slave ships. And they made companies insuring our bodies. And now they're off terrorizing somebody else. They're off terrorizing somebody else who would be in a position of power to put us in slavery if they had a chance. So do I have some type of compassion for men, women, and children who are being bombed? I guess. But I have to love my people more. We heard what Christ said, right? He said, if you, and I'm paraphrasing, don't hate your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, you can't be my disciple. We saw in the Greek what that word was, and we saw in the Strongs that it meant love less. We have to love these other nations less. Go ahead.
It's like, if I could, and also the war. You know what I mean? If you want Christ to return, you're going to have the other nations fight each other, because it's the prophecy.
It has to happen.
You know what I mean? And if you want to be empowered, I mean, they have to die. And that's just the real fact about the truth of the matter. There
has to be utter destruction, chaos, and decay around this planet, because the Lord said it has to happen. There's going to be, so right now what we can see is like it hasn't really affected us. Like prices are a little bit high. There's threat levels are going up, but have we been attacked in the United States by countries? Like there could be something as small as like maybe a cyber attack, maybe they'll make a currency, or just the fact that they're doing the currency, you know, with BRICS, you know, with Russia, Iran, and whoever else. Maybe that is, you know, devaluing our stock market, but it's not that big. This is something like the scriptures say, like it's like a woman that travailed, like, and it's talking about birth. So you have these birthing pains. So the rumors of wars are happening, earthquakes, it's all happening, but then it calms down for a second, just like contractions when a woman's giving birth. The baby's coming, you know it's coming, but okay, now it's chill. We have to know that that baby is coming. That nuclear warfare is coming. And just because it's calm now doesn't mean that it's not going to get worse. It doesn't mean that those contractions aren't going to start happening again. We look at these other nations and we have pity upon them because we have compassion, when we should have compassion on each other. I see brothers on the internet saying and doing things that are contrary to our people. I don't even know the one gang member's name, but I think he might be a Crip. He's ready to squabble anybody that disrespects or says words that go against his gang. He's so strong-headed against other gang members. He's so strong, and like if somebody comes in, you know, to jail, you know, they gonna either have to go to the back or they gonna get squabbled. Cause like he's saying all these things, but where is your strength for your people? Are you stopping other people from other nations from hurting your people? No, you're contributing to it. We have to love our nation more than we love other people. And when they see that as hate, that's fine, because that's biblical. I'm going to love my people. You should love yours. We have the same people. Psalms 83. Ace, if you could, let me see. If you could go to I almost want to read the whole thing. Yeah. Let's start at verse 1.
Going on to verse 8.
Well, I'll just tell you where to go, if you could. The book of Psalms 83 and verse 1. Because these same people who are fighting and we're like, no, just have the peace, stop the fighting. No, there can't be peace. There has to be fighting. The Lord said it has to happen. It has to happen. When they think it's going to be peace and safety, it says suddenly their destruction will come. That's what the Most High said. I want whatever he says to happen. God is not a man that lies. Go ahead, read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For love, Slakia.
For love.
No, that's verse 2.
Yeah, for love. Go ahead. Go verse 2, please.
Verse 2. For love, thy enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head. How dare these other nations ask for our pity? Free Palestine. And I'm going to show you that these other nations are them, and they're in the scriptures, and they actually hate the Most High. How dare we have pity? How dare we have compassion for those nations that hate the Most High, and we don't have compassion for each other? Is that not the craziest thing? I was talking to a brother and I was like, everything on this earth is literally backwards. If you look in the scriptures, who knows what the Most High's favorite bird is? The dove. America said it's founded on God, but they chose the eagle. The eagle steals people's food. The eagle really doesn't hunt all the time. It's like a scavenger damn near. It's a damn disgusting bird. It's the glorified vulture. And that's what they chose. The Lord had us reading from what? Right to left. America said, no, let's read from left to right. Everything is backwards. They hate the Most High. They mixed up every single thing that was supposed to be done. Sabbath in the scriptures, hey, so you can be heard on the mic. So be quiet. Sabbath, the scriptures say it is Saturday. Sabbath, sábado, right? In Spanish. America kept it as Sunday after what Constantine said. You got reading wrong, the bird wrong. How you under the Most High and you do everything contrary? You hate the Most High. The Most High said a man can't lay with a man. This country tricked people in Delaware to vote for a tranny with the Democratic Party. But yet they say they love God. You want to talk about a hate group? This entire nation is a group that hates, right? It says, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Y'all lifted up your head against the Most High. And we're supposed to have pity on you because some other enemy that had a tumult against the children of God is fighting you now. What happened when you were Confederate against us? And you want us to have pity on you? Free Palestine? If there's a mass murderer that is on Instagram and they say, yo, free my man, what's a crazy name that they be, free my man Bunky. No, keep Bunky. He's a mass murderer. Free Palestine. I keep Palestine. They were Confederate against us. And I pray the Israelis, I pray they are kept by somebody. I pray the Most High exacts vengeance because vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, right? Unless we want to say, you know what? The people that hate thee, God loves everybody. Everybody should be at peace. Is that what we want to say? Hell no. Let's continue to read. Verse 3.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They had, Salaki, go ahead, say it again. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulting against thy hidden ones. Why is it saying thy hidden ones? What's that mean? They don't even know that we are the real Jews because it's been hidden from us. It's been hidden from the world. The world don't know that we're the real Jews. They think we're crazy. Who are these nappy-headed, loud, black, jobless Negroes on the corner saying that they're the Jews? Who are they? Who are they? They're not the Israelites. That's what they're saying about us because we're hidden. It's identity theft. Continue.
Verse 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. I don't know what that Salaki says. I don't know what that means. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. So they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, but you want us to save your nation? Well, Officer Quahal, what does the Palestinians have to do with that? Well, Officer Quahal, what about the men, women, and children? What did the Lord say about the children in Edom? He said, what did he say? Anybody want to surprise me? What he said about the children of Edom?
He said that. What's like the context of the slide?
I don't want to give it completely away.
Spittle?
Huh?
There's spittle?
No. Because I kind of said another verse too that I wanted to go over.
Are you talking about the one where he said they seek you for repentance, but they ain't getting them?
No, I got y'all, because I kind of said it crazy. Prepare slaughter for their children.
I would have guessed.
Prepare slaughter for their children for the iniquities of their fathers. So you can't say the Palestinians ain't have nothing to do with it. You can't say the Israelis didn't have nothing to do with it. They weren't even born yet. It says prepare slaughter for their children, for the iniquities of their fathers. This is a sin, what they've done against us. This is a sin. It says cut them off from being a nation. You have the nerve to want us to support you, and because of what you've done with the nation that's attacking you, we don't even know who they are. We are. Salakia says. Go ahead. What's up? Not la la. No, that's fine. So, no, that's cool. So, what we have to realize is there are certain things that we should learn from the scriptures, and we should never let anybody, whether it's a PhD, whether it's an Israeli prime minister, ever tell us about the scriptures, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. We should never have more sympathy for people who are literally descendants of people who are the reason why we're no longer a nation. Palestinians, which are actually Arabs and not the original people of the land, are the reason why we don't know who we are as a people. The Israelis are the reason why we don't know who we are as a people. There are black people who actually think that these Edomites are literally the Jews of the Bible. And they're over there bombing the turbans and the diapers off the Palestinians. Do you think that the children of Israel are going to do something like that? No, Amalek would. Remember when we read about how Amalek came behind the children of Israel and attacked the men, women, and children? That's why we should know the scriptures, because we would know the attributes in the spirit of the other nations. Ace, keep reading. That the name of Israel.
That the name Israel may be no more in remembrance.
These people didn't even want the name of Israel to be in any remembrance. Let's read. Let's read who are the people who hate the Most High and have lifted up their head. Verse 5. We can read and get that description of what they did.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
They decided to do this with one consent. Every nation had a hand in our slavery. Continue.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee. There is not anything under the sun that was done more terrible than was done to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Black people went on slave ships during the transatlantic slave trade. Mexican people went on slave ships. They called it Mayan slave ships. Y'all can look it up. Y'all can Google it, Mayan slave ships. Give me a famous Indian name.
Black.
No, it's a. I don't know if it was Squanto, but a famous Northern American Indian was actually taken from here, put on a slave ship, and sent to Britain. There were even Native Americans put on slave ships. Somebody look it up real quick. Get his name for me if you could. Your phone dead? Good night. Yeah, if somebody can find that, find it for me. Ace, keep reading. The what?
Verse 6.
So these are the nations that are confederate against thee. These are the nations that hate the Most High. They hate us and they hate the Most High. Continue.
They are confederate against thee. Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom.
So you got Amalek, the dukes of Edom, which are Esau's descendants. So the very people that are saying that other people are Amalek are actually Edom. What's up, Ace? Continue. So the tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites.
Those are the Arabs. The Ishmaelites come from Ishmael. The Arabs are the ones who are confederate against thee. They're the reason why we don't have a nation today. They're the reason why black people don't have representation at the UN. They're the reason why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't have a land to call their own. And why, if there is a Hispanic nation, it has been destabilized because it has allowed Edom to be in power. Are you too wild? Do you need somebody else to read? No sweat. Continue.
Verse of Moab.
Moab, that's the Chinese.
And the Hagarenes.
Continue.
Verse 7. Jabal.
Jabal, Ammon. Ammon is the Japanese, and Amalek. That's the real one I really wanted to get to. How is it possible that Amalek was destroyed if they had a hand in us being put in slavery? Because they ensured the transatlantic slave trade. They're not gone. They're alive and very well. And they're over there doing abominations. Let me see. Where do I want to go to? Give me 1 second. All right, we could drop that. All right, let me see. I want to read one more thing. Let me get let me get 1 John 5 and 2.
You said that the Palestine is the Philistines.
Yeah. So even so, the scriptures talk about how it named the landmass, which encompasses the people that live there now, but it's not actually the real Philistines. The real Philistines, like Goliath's actual people, were Africans. It's just now that those Arabs now occupy that, so they're being called by that name. Even the prophecies still refer to that landmass and the people that are there, which encompasses the Arabs, but it's not talking about Goliath's people. The Philistines is Hamites. The actual Philistines.
I just think it's cool how, well, not cool, but it's a play on like Philistines and Palestine. It's just
right. Yeah. So yeah. Right. It's a little.
But it's the same.
Right. It's just the modern way of saying it. They probably actually think that they are the people that were there, but they're not. There's almost nobody in the same region that they were actually in. You have so many migrations, so many different movements. People don't even know who the hell they are. You see how I mentioned Ammon in there? You see how I mentioned, let me go to it. Give me 1 second. Let me read it real quick. You see how I mentioned Ammon, Moab. There was a study, you guys can look this up too. Nobody found that Native American?
I found
It's like, nah.
I see it was Squanto.
It was Squanto? Okay, so the sister said, so Squanto was the one that was taken into slavery and taken over to Britain. And what's terrible is I think the brother came back and still helped.
No, they made the story that he was eager to go learn to come back and teach his family, but it was a lie. They actually were holding his family captive. So their freedom was contingent upon him going to the new world.
So what the sister is saying, because they can't hear you, is that Squanto, they made up a story that he wanted to teach his people and that he left, but really she's saying that his family was held hostage and then he was taken. It says, and so this is a little bit a fact about Squanto. It says in 1614, okay, so it's saying Spain. In 1614, he was kidnapped by English explorer Thomas Hunt, who brought him into Spain, where he was sold into slavery. So I thought it was actually Britain explorer. Maybe it was because blah, blah, sold into slavery in Europe. So I don't know why biography.com is saying that, but let me actually get a different source to say what I'm saying. It says Squanto was captured by English explorers in 1614 and sold into slavery in Europe. Yeah, that's what actually happened. He was sold into slavery in Europe. I believe he came back and still helped the settlers after that. They were surprised that he was speaking English and was like, the hell, why are you speaking English? Because he was a slave. He had to learn the language of his slave master. That's why we shouldn't be so proud. Like, I saw a brother get mad that another brother from one of the many Hispanic countries was coming through speaking Spanish. And it's like, brother, you're speaking English. That's your slave master's language. He's speaking his slave master's language because that's not originally what they spoke. If we knew to love each other, like I was saying, that things like that wouldn't happen. But Ace, what was the verse you were holding for me?
I think it was
1 John 5:2.
The book of 1 John
Chapter 5.
chapter 5 verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God.
Mm-hmm.
When we love God and keep his commandments.
Right. So Saul was told to destroy all of Amalek. Continue. That was a commandment.
Verse 3. For this is the love of God.
So if Saul truly loved God, he would have kept that commandment. He would have destroyed every single Amalekite. Is that how you say that? Amalekite. He would have destroyed all of them. And by doing so, he would have been showing his people love, because Esther and Mordecai and the children of Israel would not have had to deal with Haman, which was a descendant of Amalek. So that's literally a parallel where you can see loving the children of God is doing what the Most High said. Let's get that one more time from the top. Is that what you wanted, sis? That's what you wanted? Most High Christ, no sweat. Keep going. From the top. Right.
Verse 2. By this we know that we love
the children of God. Esther, Mordecai, the Israelites, they're the children of God. Continue.
When we love God and keep his commandments.
Verse 3.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
Right. It was not a hard thing. It was not a grievous thing for all of Amalek to be destroyed. Right now, we have a prime minister who is calling Arabs Amalek when he's Amalek. We have a PhD in political science who's a professor thinking that all of Amalek was actually destroyed when it wasn't, because there was one walking around causing a ruckus around Esther. And till this day, our people are destroyed and don't have an identity because we didn't follow the laws, the statutes, and commandments. They don't know the Bible. We do. Y'all should tune in next week. With that being said, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Howard. And Salaki, I forgot to look at the chat. Definitely will give y'all a quick shout out, if I could, real quick. No sweat. All right, we got Yakar, Shalom, Yahal, Shema, done by Shem Yahushai. That's the rib of Priest and Officer Ram Yala. We got Salaki, if I mess this name up. We got Shawan Harvey. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Shalom, Yahal, Shema, done by Shem Yahushai. Checking in from Delaware South. We have Trooper Nahalia. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. How about Shem Yahushai Barakatah? And then we have Sister Kanai. She said, speaking Mandarin. I missed that. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the class over. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and get it cracking next week. Lord allow.
The ISCPK security announcements. Rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They're here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they're to seek counsel from the heads. Tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Ma'asher, which means a tenth in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest fund is a free run offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming holy holidays is a feast of dedication. I believe it starts December 17th. I gotta double check. If any brother wants to be a trooper to school, you just start wearing black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, men of Israel will say a miser. You stand. Men of Israel. Miser Shabbat. Miser. Shabbat. Shalom. Y'all sorry, like a thumb. Y'all's my tug, hands down. Sorry. Face the sisters. Sisters are miser, which means to stand. We'll give the fifth of courtesy salute. Men of Israel. Miser Shabbat. Miser. Rob. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Adam, Ashir, Shah.
Shalom, Yahweh Shemar, Elohim, Bahashim, Yahweh.
You guys, my tug, class dismissed.